Hello, Merry Meet. So, I want to review another tarot deck. The one I want to review now is another one that's basically fantasy themed. It's the Lost Code Tarot. And this is the limited edition box. This deck comes in multiple different kinds of packagings and variants, so I can only be reviewing this one. There is also basically a whole setting to this that has been made for this deck, but I haven't really gotten a lot into it because what really fascinated me was the cards themselves, so I cannot be reviewing that. It's only basically the contents of this box I will be reviewing. But you can learn more about this deck and basically the game and the setting and all of that that has been created around it from, I think the YouTube channel is the Alchemist channel, but I'm not completely sure. But if you Google this name, you should be able to find it. And this deck is published by Los Scarabeo. And it's basically, it says, a mystery, a cipher, an enigma, an unparalleled adventure between history and imagination. And this limited edition box comes in this, limited edition comes in this very nice box. We can get this little sleeve off. And it's a pretty good one. So here it's pretty solid. It has these very nice, and I'm a sucker for such, basically having little pieces of shiny on black. So yeah, this box is beautiful, and this means that this would be a great gift. If I can get the box opened, it would be nice. Basically closes with a magnet lock, which is very nice. And yeah, has a little mock seal there. And here we come to the book that it comes with. Now, one thing that you should be aware of when buying this deck is that this doesn't really work as a guidebook for the tarot. And usually when a tarot kit comes with a book, you can imagine that, oh no, I can just give this deck to someone and they have all they need to start reading. Yeah, because this more establishes the setting of the cards. It's basically establishes a parallel world where this is the first tarot deck ever found, and it's basically a mock news report folder thing. Mine came with a little bit of a crease here, but I think that's just me. I don't know if you can pick it up. Actually, there you go. But I think that's just me being unlucky. It's called The Book of Shadows, The Lost Code of the Tarot. And there's some glue things on it as well. Really got. So basically, it looks like this. They have made up a little story for this. Pretty interesting little story about how they were found in an old alchemist's tomb. And look here with little news reports and all of it. I've really gone to quite a bit of work here. Maps to where it was found. I mean, this could make a pretty good role-playing game chronicle. So yeah, I mean, it is quite interesting. And then we have basically pictures of the cards themselves, but there aren't any explanations on them. So while you have the pictures of the cards that are supposed to be a fairy that has been found, you don't really get much explanation. Ergo, you need a book. And more about what they've created and a divination system they've created for it. And I mean, even if a divination system is fictional, you can still use it. So yeah, you could use this symbolism that I have presented here for their fictional world within your divination, or you can just go with the standard tarot one. It is your choice. You have a little bit here about the cards, which they have renamed. So you have the Cosmic Fish and the Pair Nebulum Sims, but you don't really get a lot about each card. Why planets are not cubes shaped? It's just a fun little book. So yeah. What I do like is that I have little cute little layouts that are just odd. And you know how I love my layouts and collect them. And there are definitely some unique ones here. You will need some space with these though. That's the only downside. That these are not something that you just smack down your PC lid and you read on that. You are gonna need to clear your kitchen table to do these. But there are quite a lot of them, which I do like. I would have wished I would have done a bit of work with the actual cards themselves, but there are tarot books for that. So yeah, more layouts. Huzzah! I like layouts. And there is, like I said, a lot of them. And they are all unique, which makes me happy. But yeah, it's all this mock information thing. And yeah, that makes it pretty fun. And in the back you have basically comparisons with these cards and other typical tarot cards, which actually is a bit fun. So yeah, this is a fiction book, basically establishing that world. And since that world is connected to these cards, it can be interesting to read through to get into that setting for the extra symbolism it can offer. But in and of itself, you can just read these cards as any tarot cards. So let's have a look at the cards, shall we? The cards are placed like this, which in one way I like it because it means that you don't have to run out and get a bag for them, because very often in these boxed kits, the cards just lie slinking around in the box because the box to fit the book are much bigger than the cards. You don't have that here, but on the other hand, they are a pain to get out of their little bed. Come out. Out, 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 out. It does have this little ribbon, which I like. It's very classy. So, let's start, shall we? I got this deck sort of on a whim, just because I love the pictures. I just think they are awesome. They just has this whimsical quality to them that's just interesting. So I can definitely see myself reading with these cards. Now, these, in one way, very simplified, but on the other hand, very detailed drawings will not be everybody's cup of tea, but they are made to look like they are ancient parchment, and that is a bit fun. They are quite symbol rich, and they are based on the older versions of the tarot, Marseille, and those guys there, but they do deviate from them quite a bit. They have the main symbolism of the Marseilles if you cross that with the Raider White, so it shouldn't be that difficult to figure these ones out. So yeah, it's a pretty traditional tarot deck. Just has this very, very unique, and I like these little splashes of color, this very, very unique style to it. So I first fell in love with the images. I didn't even know that there were a setting involved with them, which might have made me want them even more, because I really like the idea of using fiction within Magic. But yes, it's a gorgeous deck. The backs are reversible-ish. It's sort of... You have this town, as you can see, if I can get the way that doesn't glare on it. And the buildings are not the same, so if you memorize the buildings, you can see that if it's upside down or right side up. But you won't do that just at a glance. So I think that's good enough. Here over in the Little Arcana, which is somewhat fully illustrated, but not completely. You do have basically only the symbols. Like here we have cups, but they are quite well drawn. Let's find some other ones. Some court cards, perhaps. Here we go. Again, you don't have a name or a number on these, but it isn't that difficult. Just basically look at the symbolism of a card and figure them out. There is not a lot of border, which I like. But this is probably not a good beginner deck, because like I said, it has no name on it, no number, no nothing, so you will have a bit of figuring out to do. You have to know the symbolism to say, oh, well, that card is that card. And the symbolism might be more difficult to get than more traditionally illustrated decks. But I really like this. I think this deck is pretty cool, and I can definitely see myself reading with them, especially intuitively. And also getting involved in the little setting they have made for it. I think that is cute. So yeah, this is definitely not a deck for everyone. I don't think it has a lot of major issues. Like I said, can be difficult to figure out which card is which, unless you actually go through each card and basically know the symbolism and say, oh well, that's the High Priestess, that's because it doesn't have names or numbers. I like that because I've been reading for some time now, but it's not the most beginner friendly deck. But for anybody else, I think this is a beautiful deck, and the way this special edition arrives in this beautiful box with the setting book and all of it, it can make a great gift. I also think that this book here and this whole concept around it will make an awesome Call of Cthulhu adventure, or perhaps something for World of Darkness Mortals. Something like that would make it awesome. So yeah, I like this deck. It was picked up on a memo. Yeah, I should show that you have illustrations inside of the box too. Attention to detail. I like that. So yeah, it's a very good deck. It's a good product, and I am happy with it. Now let's see if I can get this thing back into its little box. I think I'm gonna have to get bag for this, so it will be easier to get in and out of the box. I know this guy on Facebook that makes these awesome bags made of painted sackcloth. They look just gorgeous, and I think that something along those lines will fit this deck very well. So yeah, and of course, if you're completely against using any kind of fiction within your real-life occult practice, then this isn't a deck for you. But it is completely possible to use this deck without including any of the fiction, because it is also basically a tarot deck. So yeah, that is my review of the Lost Code Tarot. I really enjoy it. It doesn't say exactly who made it here, but you can again find that if you Google it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. Have a great day, and blessed be.